my name is Evelyn from Vinyldyke Records and Zine, and today I've got two guests here on my couch. Naz and Ella, folk grunge duo from London, UK.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, cool. Thank you for having us here today. It's really nice to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, we know each other from Instagram, or
Yeah.
how did we meet? Yeah,
it's really. I think I discovered Vinyldyke from a Facebook group, actually.
a zine group.
Through your
Maybe?
playlist. You
The Loud Women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I discovered your zine. That's how this has happened. It's amazing. We're here now.
Yeah. Also, so we're gonna talk about making zines, about the music, and your new project also.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So can you maybe introduce yourselves?
Yeah. So I'm Naz.
And I'm Ella, and
together we make music as Naz and Ella. Our music is kind of, I guess, sort of folk grunge music inspired by artists like Nirvana and Alice in Chains, but more like acoustic.
Yeah.
And other artists like, I'd say, sort of the Cranberries as well.
Definitely.
In terms of sort of more
And PJ
melodic
Harvey.
and PJ
He's
Harvey. Yeah. And we often write about sort of socio-political issues as well in our music.
Yeah, and we've been playing together for a long time now. I think over 10 years.
Yeah.
And we recently started a new project, which I think we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of your music, as you know, and first thing that was striking to me was the grunge sound and the 90s connection. So I think you've got a very early 90s sound, but today, why is that?
That's
what. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's so cool that comes across because
it's not super intentional. I
guess. It's definitely not really intentional. Well, at least when we were writing, we weren't like, yes, it's got to be really grunge. I think at the time we were listening to a lot of like Nirvana, Nirvana, and Alice in Chains and bands like that, and that sort of came into our EP quite a bit in our songwriting.
I think the sounds as well we use, like I quite like a sort of clean sound, but with like a atmospheric, like a bit of reverb, and then I use a lot of power chords, so kind of things that are very used like grunge, or maybe like a little bit of like distortion sometimes.
We also got the same chorus pedal that Kurt Cobain.
Oh, Kurt Cobain, yeah. Electro harmonics. Small clone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We like that kind of chorusy sound, and then the harmonies as well. We really like Alice in Chains, kind of, especially the acoustic unplugged album they did, and they've got like really close harmonies, and it's kind of got this like grungy sound. I don't know how to describe it, but we really liked that style.
Yeah, and we covered Down in a Hole, didn't we?
Yeah. Just got really nice harmony and melody and everything. Yeah.
And last night at the show, we played a show together at the Archiv der Jugendkulturen, Archive of Youth Cultures in Berlin, and your encore was Heart-Shaped Box.
Yeah. We just decided that last minute. We thought, you know what, let's throw a cover in there.
Yeah.
And we hadn't really practiced it, so we were kind of worried that we would forget the lyrics, but actually it was fine, and it's such a classic, and I think people, they hear the intro and they immediately know what the song is.
Yes.
And they're excited about it.
Yeah, everybody was so happy. So the show actually was super cool. It was so nice, and after the show, everybody would come to Naz and I was like, oh, your beautiful voices gave me goosebumps, and the lyrics were so intense.
Yeah.
So that is what I find very special about your music, and also the new grunge music today. I mean, I play in the grunge band Passion is Pointless, and that is, we've got the early 90s grunge sound, and there are more bands doing this. But the lyrics are different. They are very political and activist. Can you maybe talk about the topics that you cover in your music? Yeah. I mean, the connection between that old school music, but the political content of now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess in our music for quite a while we've been at least music that we've released, we've been covering more political issues. So in our latest EP, which is called Dehumanise, with the DE in brackets to emphasize humanize.
Like this?
Yes.
Like this, I hope it focuses. Yeah, dehumanize.
Yeah, focuses on many different issues. So, for example, internalized homophobia or internalized queerphobia. We talk about the exotification of women of colour.
Animal rights.
Animal rights as well, so in particular industrial farming, and then also sexual harassment. And I think these are sort of issues that have affected us personally, or things that we've been thinking about over time, especially
things
in the case...
that anger us.
Yeah, things that sort of anger us, but also trying to put a positive spin on it as well, because I think it's
hopeful.
Important. Yeah, hopeful.
Yeah.
That's the right word, not positive. None of these things are positive. But yeah, sort of like instilling hope in people, because I think especially when you're writing more political music, and especially in the time that we're in now, everything feels very doom and gloom. I don't know if it's the same how, you know, sort of how people are feeling in Germany, but at least in the UK it feels extremely chaotic and like not hopeful. So yeah, we always try and add a bit of that hope in the music. Through our lyrics.
The personal and the political, like, coming together, is what kind of inspires our lyrics. Yeah, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah, your song titles are like, no doesn't mean convince me.
Yeah.
And Exotica, that has such a beautiful melody, but the message is like this.
That was inspired by the Cranberries, who we really like, and how they're just a great, like, melodic band, but then they've got you know, songs like Zombie, which do have this kind of like political underlying message. So we're really inspired by them for that song in particular.
Definitely. And I think also in our music, and I hope this does come across, is that in our lyrics we want people to understand what we're saying, because I think also even in some political music it can be sort of shrouded in like metaphor and stuff, and at least with Naz Ella stuff we try and make it quite
blunt.
Yeah, quite blunt and clear what we're saying.
The messages come across very clearly. Also, you made the zine for your EP, and all the lyrics are in there, and also background information of all the songs, and also beautiful photos and everything. What else is in the zine? Why did you make a zine anyway for your EP?
Yeah, it was an interesting one.
Well, mainly Naz is the brains behind the zine, but I think the reason why we did it was we wanted to give people a bit more insight into us, and I think like a lot of people, they want to buy merch, but we noticed that a lot of people were buying CDs almost as like a souvenir. They don't actually go and put the CD in their CD player. Like no one really has CD players anymore that much. So we wanted to give people something that they could take away and go and actually read and learn about us. And Naz is a zine maker anyway, so we thought, why not use those skills? Yeah,
exactly. So it just made a lot more sense. We couldn't afford to press vinyl, and I think there was a backlog as well anyway.
Yeah, people still listen to vinyl.
It's so popular now, but it's not so, but for us, I guess it wasn't possible. And then CDs was, you know, it's much easier. People do ask for CDs, but I think it's nice to be able to share a bit more in what we're doing, how we work behind the scenes, because we find it very interesting. Like,
there's the chapter how you produced your album, self-recorded and self-produced it, right? Wow.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are surprised that we recorded it ourselves.
Yeah,
it was like in our bedroom.
Home recording and self-producing.
Which is my childhood bedroom. That's where we recorded.
Yeah, it's the first time we'd ever done it, so it was a learning process for us, and we thought, well, let's share it with other... Oh my god, these pictures! Let's share it with other artists that want to do the same thing.
And also making our music video.
Our first ever music video. Yeah. We'd never done one before. I mean, we played together for so long.
So you released the single, No?
Yeah,
Doesn't mean convince me, and you have this very powerful video with the colors red
Yeah.
and black and white, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of red, black and
Yeah.
white. It's quite a dark video actually. Isn't
Yeah.
it? And
That's
then
fun.
edited by
Very
one of our
intense,
friends. Yeah, it is quite intense.
Yeah, and also in the beautiful grungy style music.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite a grungy
Yeah.
song,
It's
isn't it?
definitely that is probably the most grungy one of all of them
Yeah.
actually.
Because it's got that kind of Nirvana style
Yeah.
riff going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And as you also make the zine Weirdo.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh my gosh, this little beauty.
These are absolutely amazing.
Oh,
One of
thank
the best zines that
I think the same about Vinyldyke, by the way. When I ordered your zines, I was like, oh my god, Ella, oh my god, look at this.
Yeah.
So Weirdo is a zine that I made to sort of document and celebrate people of South Asian descent in the alternative scenes, alternative subculture. So it's like punk, goth, metalheads, anyone who's like a weirdo in the South Asian community, because we're kind of like, people in the South Asian community think that we're all freaks, like if we're into like punk music and stuff like that, they don't understand. But then also being someone of South Asian descent or a person of colour entering the alternative scenes, I think there's also this idea of like, oh, you know, what are you doing here? Because we don't usually see people like you entering these spaces, or at least that's the case in the UK. And you hear a lot of people who've experienced racism at gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create something where it would bring the South Asian community together who are interested in these things, and just share their stories and their experiences and stuff. And this one is the first issue.
The first issue, yeah.
Identity and community in British subculture.
And the second one was the music issues,
Yes.
with interviews with a lot of
Yeah.
awesome musicians.
Yeah, there's so many people from sort of the underground scene and people who are like signed to like much bigger labels as well. So it's been it's really cool. We'll definitely be building on this a bit more in the next few years or so.
Yeah.
However long we go for.
And it also looks absolutely great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, an ad.
Oh yeah, an ad
With a QR code.
with a QR code. The only good thing to come out of COVID is that QR codes are now popular. So yeah, that one's got loads of QR codes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been great working on them. They're meeting people.
Yeah. So zines is still part of the print media, but what do you think? Why is it? How does underground music and zines, how do they go together? Why are they still so important? I don't know.
Yeah,
What do
for
you think?
sure. It's interesting because in terms of like more modern day zines, we kind of look to sort of the punk movement and the resurgence of zines. And we were actually, when we were at the Archive the other day, we received a tour.
Yeah.
And one of the earliest zines is from sort of the 50s, and it's sort of the sci-fi movement. But in terms of like music, I think it's so important to like be able to connect with people and tell them, you know, what's happening. And also it's such a good way to like document what's happening in the scene at the time.
Absolutely.
At least in the UK, there's this idea that like, you know, underground music scenes aren't happening, or there's not sort of these different collectives and things, but actually they are happening in music, and one way that they're being documented is through zines. And so that's kind of for me where it all sort of comes together.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that your zine is now in an archive and somebody in 50 years or something might pick it up and go, oh wow,
So
that's
what's
happening.
happening in 2022.
I love that idea, and it's just a snapshot of history, and that's like, we sometimes look at like, we've looked at old zines, and it's really interesting to get that snapshot of that time in a different way. And
you can go so niche as well, right? And really get down like very granular in terms of you know, at least in the Archive, for example, there were loads of zines specifically documenting subcultures in Berlin, which is so cool. Like, there's all that history there. So this is our little
piece of history.
Piece of history.
Yeah, I remember when I started making zines, I made as you know, the music zine Vinyldyke. I thought, okay, nobody will write about my music. I need to do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the DIY thought behind that. Okay, so you play music as Naz Ella, but
Yes.
also you've just started a new band.
We
Yeah.
have, yes. Yeah, so we started a new band, Dog Violet, and it's something
A
we've been...
four-piece.
Yeah, it's a 4-piece, so Ella's on guitar and backing vocals, I'm lead vocals and rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
And then we have a bassist and a drummer as well. And yeah, it's something that's been an idea for quite a while, probably since we started working on our EP, because we wanted to... And our EP, our latest EP, Dehumanise, is probably sort of the bridge between old Naz Ella, which was a lot more folky, but still very political.
Well, because on the EP we would record like 3 guitar parts, but then we'd try and play it live and it would be only 1 guitar or 2.
Yeah.
And we're like, damn, we need a band to play these parts and a bass as well. So it was actually about being able to have that bigger sound live, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And then just sort of quite a different sound as well. So there's still that sort of 90s. There's sort of like 90s rock, I'd say. And maybe it's like grunge, but it's sort of more indie rock, post-punk.
I mean, our drummer said, our bassist said it's got that early 90s vibe.
She said sort of like
Breeders, actually.
The Breeders are
So, but yeah, it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more like new wave influenced.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And our drummer sort of it reminds her of Interpol as well.
Yeah, Interpol, who I really like. So yeah, with the guitar parts, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've only been working together as a duo for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And now we'll be in a 4-piece, which is really cool.
Are you planning on recording and releasing music?
Yeah, so
soon?
it's so tricky. So at the moment we're doing gigs first. I think gigs are a really good way to test out the songs, to see how people receive it, to see if there's anything that actually doesn't work. Yeah, build an audience, and then they'll then hopefully be telling us, oh, when are you recording? And then we'll be like, we are working on it.
We want to be considered and really think about what the best track is to release, and probably be doing more singles, I imagine. So yeah, we'll see what goes down well. Then we'll hit the studio.
Yeah, we'll probably do some like live demos or something.
Yeah,
it's different because as a duo we can just record at home.
Yeah,
but when you've got a drummer, you actually need to go somewhere to record properly. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to your
we will let you know.
listening to your music.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for coming here to Berlin and playing this amazing show and doing the interview.
Thank you for having us. It's been really, it's been
loved
really
it.
lovely. We'll
Please
definitely
come back.
We'll come back.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
come back
do
with
that.
our band as well.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's it. Thank you.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.